Welcome back. In this lesson, we're going to be looking at this collage of this cat sitting on this fence. So before we get started, we're going to review some of our vocabulary words and some of the things that we're going to learn. Number one, it's a collage. We learned that before, that with our collage, that means we're cutting up different pieces of paper into new shapes or new pieces and arranging them somehow on our picture to create something that wasn't originally there. So that's a collage. Today we're also learning the words mixed media. Media is any kind of type of material that you use to make artwork. So like paper and oil pastels, markers, crayons, paint. And anytime you put two different materials together, you have a mixed media picture. So in this one, we've got the paper for our collage, and we've got the oil pastel for the other details. So we're going to be making a mixed media picture today. Also, we're reminding ourselves of the basic shapes. We're going to be using the triangle today for most of our picture, and we're also going to be using some like oval-like shapes for the eyes. And then we're getting into this other one over here, which is kind of a not basic shape, but it's, you know, just a shape, and it's pretty recognizable, the moon, right? And then we're going to learn a new one today. This is called symmetrical. We're going to be talking about symmetry a lot and symmetrical shapes. So in this picture, we have some symmetrical shapes here and here, and here and here, and these down here. And we're going to talk about how to make those in a little bit. To make some of our symmetrical shapes, we're going to need to do some paper folding, which we'll talk about when we get there. And we're also going to remind ourselves about overlapping. Remember, overlapping is whenever you put one thing in front of something else, kind of like the little picture here. And today we're going to be overlapping not our pieces of paper so much as oil pastels on top of our paper. So those are kind of the basic vocabulary words that we're reminding ourselves of today. And we're going to be making this picture. To get started, you're going to need one piece of blue paper. Get your blue paper in front of you, put your name on it. Now I'll pause the movie here so we can take time to put your name on the back. When you have that done, give me a thumbs up. Good. Now flip your paper over so you have a nice clean sheet like that. Then you're going to need your glue and scissors, and you're going to need these three pieces of paper. One yellow square, one black square, and then there's going to be these ones that are a little off. They are 4.5 inches by 3 inches. Okay, so 4.5 inches by 3 inches. And these are 4.5 inches by 4.5 inch squares. Okay, so we're going to get started with our 4.5 inch square here, and we're actually going to fold it in half. We're going to take this tip down here, and we're going to fold it up to that tip so that we get a fold line right down the middle of our triangle like that. Okay, so take this bottom tip and you're going to roll it over and then slide it up to the other corner. When you get it lined up, put your fingers on top of it and then take your other finger and pull it down like that. This is what I like to call butterfly wings. Kind of looks like a little butterfly. Then you're going to just take your finger and slide over to the side and slide over to the side. And now you have a triangle. Okay? With this triangle, you're actually going to open it up and you're going to cut on the fold line. So hold your scissors, good scissor form, thumb on top, fingers on the bottom, one finger outside, and you're actually going to cut right on that fold line. So cut there. When you're done, hold your two pieces of paper up so I can see them. Good. Now what you're going to do is you're going to take these and glue them down. Our first square, or sorry, triangle, we're going to take this little dot and we're going to flip it over so the dot's in the middle. And take the other one and flip it over so the dot's in the middle. And you want to arrange them on your paper kind of like that. And this is going to be our cat sitting on the fence. Okay, so take that and you want to flip them over and glue them down. Remember, with our tap and glue bottle, we have to turn it on by pushing this button in. So tap it a couple times, pick off any extra glue that you might have, and then if I squeeze as hard as I can, nothing is going to come out. You have to push down and make a bunny hop. Push down and squeeze to make your bunny hop. Push down and squeeze to make your bunny hop. Put about, what is that? 6, 7 bunny hops. Flip your paper over and line it up so the bottom is nice and parallel with the bottom of your paper. Okay, and then take the other one, flip it over, put a few bunny hops on, bunny hop, bunny hop, bunny hop, bunny hop, and then flip it over. And it's kind of cute if you tilt the head a little bit like this, so it looks like it's kind of tilting its head and looking at you. All right, so there we have the basic body shape. Now we're going to do the ears, the tail, and the feet. First, we're going to take this paper and fold it in half. Okay, fold that in half. Then we're going to just cut a couple sections off. We're going to cut a thin one like this. Okay, and this is going to be our tail. We'll set that over to the side for a minute. And then you have like basically a square right here, right? You're going to take this square and you're going to open it back up and cut right on the fold line. So you have two squares. Good. Set your two squares aside and take your tail, and then you can just wiggle a little line right along the tail. I'm going to draw mine first so that you can see it. If you want to just wiggle it on your own, that's fine. But I'm going to draw a little wiggly line so it looks kind of like a wiggly tail. Okay, so I'm just going to cut this right along my line. Notice how I'm turning the paper so that the paper is always pointing, so that my scissors is always still pointing away from me. But there's my little wiggly tail. And now I can just slide that right underneath, and that can be the tail for my cat. So I'm going to flip it back over, put some bunny hops on, and then take your fingernail and just peel up this paper just a bit and slide your tail underneath like that. Okay, so there's my cat tail. This little piece of paper we can throw away. And now we've got these two squares up here. Okay, and we're going to use one of them to make our feet. If you fold this one in half and you make a little foot mark, like if you can imagine here, if we have a little foot like that coming over, and you cut that out and you make sure that you've got it folded in half, and you're going to cut on that half line. Cut like this right on the little line, and then if you open it up and you cut on the fold line, you've got two little feet that are exactly symmetrical. They're exactly the same right there. So what you're going to do is take your little feet, put a bunny hop on each of them, flip them over, and put those in place. Okay, now we're going to make our little ears. Okay, with this last piece of paper here that you have, you can fold it in half and then start at the corner, and you're just going to cut off a triangle like this. Okay, and if you take this now, since it's folded in half, you're going to get a symmetrical shape for the ear. So I'm just going to start right here and take one snip right along my line, and I've got two ears now. One for this side and one for this side. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to put some bunny hops on. You want to make sure that you've got your bunny hops on nicely and you have your ear turned the right way. If you notice in this picture, you've got the flat edge pointing out and the diagonal line pointing in. So I'm going to take this and make sure I've got the flat edge pointing out and I've got the diagonal line pointing in. Okay, I'm going to repeat it over here so that these two ears are totally symmetrical. We cut them out of the same piece and they're symmetrical. So there's our cat body. All right, now we have the ears, or sorry, the eyes to do. We're going to take this piece of paper and we're going to fold it in half. And we're just going to cut off a little bit right here. Okay, now we're going to draw an eye. You're going to take your pencil and you're going to draw a little football shape. One, up, curved line, down. There's your eye. Okay. Now you're just going to cut that eye out. Hold on to your paper and cut that eye out. Notice how I'm turning my paper, so I'm always keeping my scissors pointed away from me. And now we have two eyes for our cat. Okay, I like to kind of tilt them like this. It makes them look more interesting. And then we've got this last piece of paper here for our moon. On this piece of paper, how about we just draw a moon like this. And then you can just cut that out. You can choose to either cut that out just normal, or if you want to, you can fold it in half and cut on the top piece, and then you'll have a symmetrical moon. I'm going to cut on the top piece so that I have a symmetrical moon. If you want to open it all the way up and cut that out, that's fine too. If I take that piece now, I have a symmetrical moon. Okay, and it's a little bit pointy on the edge. I'm going to just trim that off. I didn't follow my line very good, did I? There we go. Okay, so I've got that moon now for up in the top. So take your glue, bunny hops on your moon, and flip it over. And then take your eyes, bunny hops on the eyes, and flip that over. I'm going to tilt them just like I did before. And there we go. So that finishes the collage portion of our cat on a fence. And that's what the final one will look like.